Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy SoSo, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to hit that like, comment button, and tell a friend to tell a friend. This clip is from our latest episode, episode 105, which is streaming on your favorite platform right now. In this clip, we're talking Miami Heat and Tyler Herro's extension.
It's almost time, bro. It's almost time for our favorite word. Or words.
You mean phrase.
Phrase.
One of our favorite phrases. One of our coined phrases. One of our trademark phrases. Yeah. This one. This is the one we're on.
Well,
yeah.
There it is.
Pizza mañana. Pizza mañana. I can't wait, baby. Heat training camp is officially over, I think. Right?
Yes,
and the preseason is pretty much underway.
Yeah,
by the time you're hearing this, preseason has already started in the
sir.
NBA.
Yes, sir. The Heat are going to have, I think, 4 preseason games. None of them that important. You know what I mean? Whatever it is, what it is. The season officially starts for the Miami Heat on October 19th, which is a Wednesday, and we're going to be playing at home against the Chicago Bulls. We have a 4-game homestand. Awkwardly enough, we're going to be playing the Bulls, the Celtics, and the Raptors twice at home, back-to-back. Kind of strange. Saturday and Monday. Weird. NBA is weird like that, bro.
Oh, it's all preseason, though, right?
No, this is a regular season. That was the first 4 games.
Wow, that's weird.
4 straight home games.
Start. But I like it.
Hey, you know, and there's a lot of, I don't want to say questions, but uncertainties, right? When it comes to this Heat team, we didn't see a lot of movement when it came to the roster.
Man, we haven't talked Heat in a while.
It's been a minute.
It's been a real long time since
and
we
mostly
talked about
the only thing that's really been happening in Heat world, right, is who's going to play the 4.
Yeah.
Right. And what type of combination are we going to try to find to play that power forward? Right. And it came out as the training camp started, you know, that Yurts was playing a lot of the 5 next to Bam at the 4, you know, and Yurts was in a lot of rotations. Obviously, right, the disciple of Riley, Coach Spo, is not going to give away anything, but it's kind of interesting to me that he recognizes, or they recognize, that we need a big man next to Bam to kind of unlock him on offense and defense of responsibilities that maybe hold him back from being able to produce more in the scoring range, right? Another thing that came out of preseason or training camp, right, that I'm looking forward to watching on preseason is Oladipo. You know, a lot of conversations about Oladipo looking really good, really healthy, explosive is a word I saw to describe his play and his ability to jump again, which is kind of, I'm excited, right? But I feel like I got to take it with a grain of salt because of his injury, you know, and whether or not he's going to be able to sustain that for a full year, you know, a full season. Not to say that we're relying on him, but if Oladipo comes in and gives you 20 minutes a game as a high volume scorer, a guy who can create offense, can play really good defense, possibly close out games for you in the fourth quarter, then shit, that's almost like getting a free agent, right? Because we haven't gotten that type of production from Oladipo, and we know that he can provide that. He has that history of being a baller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the last thing, which obviously is the hot thing to talk about, is Tyler Herro. There was a lot of, you know, talk about him being dealt in the Kevin Durant trade. Is he involved with this trade? How do the Heat view him? Do they value him? You know? And I was listening to the 5 on the Floor Network. Shout out to our boy Ethan and those guys. And you know, it's strange that they have kind of the same outtake that we do when it comes to Herro as fans, right? Which is like, we know he's a playmaker. We know he's a guy who can produce and put up points. But how much can you trust him defensively? And, you know, a lot of the stuff that I read about Tyler Herro this summer is that he was paying attention to all of it and just using that shit as motivation to say, oh, you guys think I can't defend? Cool. Here's 15 pounds. 12 pounds. Boom. Dog put on some weight. Oh, you guys don't think I can shoot at a high clip like this? Cool. Check out these videos of me shooting 10, 12 hours in the gym. And dog, he's been working in silence, you know. And for a guy who is that young, that used to social media, that, I don't want to say flamboyant, but out there, outgoing, you know what I mean? For him to be so reserved now shows me that this dude has really been working on the low ski and not really buying into the hype of everything that's being said about him. And now that he reward him with a 4-year, $130 million extension, this dude's going to be making over $30 million a year. I feel like Tyler Herro's about to blow up, and we're about to be on a bargain deal with this guy, dog.
I mean, but has he not already blown up, bro? Was he not just coming off Sixth Man of the Year?
Right.
Did he not just come off a season where he was averaging 20 points a game for the better half of the regular season? And then this is the issue. We get to the postseason. Where is Tyler Herro?
Right.
You're working on yourself, bro. Yeah, that's cool, bro. You're doing it in silence to silence the hater. Yeah, that's cool. You made $130 million. Yeah, that's cool. But you don't got a ring, bro, and you haven't shown up yet when it's mattered most to this franchise. So until you prove to me that that weight that you added on is going to make you a better defender, that you can shoot at a high clip consistently in the games that matter, not just the regular season games, all right, and take over when you see guys like Jimmy and Bam not being able to do your part to take over, that's when I'm going to be a Tyler Herro believer again.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm not a hyped up guy or buying into the hype, but you're right. All those accolades that you said about him are true. He is that dude. We've seen him be that dude, so we know he can do it. Now he needs to realize that he needs to do it in the postseason to have it really be I don't want to say effective, but like standing out, you know, and make him show out. Because truth be told, the person that we really need all that from is Bam. You know what I mean? And that goes back to what I was saying earlier, where Bam is probably being held back because he's doing so much defensively that it inhibits his ability to produce offensively. And that's what everybody wants. Everybody's like, damn, Bam should be scoring 20 points a game easy, 22 points a game easy. And it's true. If he has the time on offense and the plays ran for him, he can score. But it's going to take a lot out of him to do that at the 5 and go down the court and put up shots left and right. If Yurts can come in and play that 5 position, kind of like Whiteside did early in Bam's career, or who didn't matter who was playing next to Whiteside, they were going to be able to get rebounds because Whiteside is boxing out a guy or two. And they're going to be able to get down the floor faster because Whiteside already grabbed it and gave it to the point guard. We need a guy like that who can be that anchor defensively. I'm not saying go out there and get blocks. Just rebound. Be in the paint. Do the stuff that Bam does. That way we can free up Bam, and he's our 4. We don't need to go get a 4. Bam's our 4. And then we can play Jimmy there. And then if we have to go small ball, we can, because we can add a guy like Oladipo to the lineup, a guy like Kyle Lowry to the lineup. You know, a lot of these guys, they said in their preseason conferences that like, oh, you know, the shit that Riley said didn't get to me and blah, blah, blah. But everything that they're showing up with for this season is straight a reflection of what Pat Riley said. Lowry lost weight, looks toned, looks in shape. Probably the best shape that he's been in the last 5 years. When asked about it, Riley's words didn't really get to me. Same thing with Oladipo. Comes in, looks super motivated. Every time he touches the ball, he's trying to dunk on somebody or put up 20 points in a pickup game. What did Riley say? Now we need people to step up and people take accountability. And Herro. Oh, you know what? Damn, I'm not that scorer in the postseason. I need to go out there and work on my game. I'm going to put up shots. I'm going to get better. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Now, can it manifest itself onto the court? That's the shit that's going to matter. Because now that he really don't have a superstar outside of Jimmy, right? Jimmy is our superstar, the only one. And then we have a bunch of lower tier candidates for superstardom, right? Can they break out? Herro, Bam. And then we have the supporting cast, the Lowry, the Oladipo, the Yurtsevin, Duncan. He's still here, right? You guys forget about him. But those are the supporting roles. And we need those guys to do their job, to support the rest of those guys. And then like that, we don't really need a superstar. But can they do it? It's going to be tough this year. The East is loaded.
I mean, it's tough because of the fact that we didn't really go out and make any changes. You know, a lot of free agent movements or speculation and all that, but we really retained the same core. and we saw what happened last year with this team. So we saw times that, flashes where they played really well, and it was like, man, these guys can make a run for the championship. And then while we were making that run for the championship, we were looking like, did we even deserve to be here in the first place? I mean, that Celtics series, man, we did not look like the Miami Heat that we saw all year, and that's the concern right there, man. Are we gonna have, are we gonna look good in the beginning and then falter at the end, or are we gonna struggle at the beginning of this season
and look better at the end,
pick it up, and then figure out our identity? I think we already have an identity. I think you nailed it, with the fact that Jimmy is our superstar and everybody else is pretty much supporting cast. We were last season when we were doing this show, we were expecting Bam to elevate into that. With an injury that kind of came around, and then the fact of how we went out, we wouldn't classify him as superstar status, but, he definitely is our number 2 most valuable player, just in the fact that he covers every position on the floor, how athletic the guy is. Do we want more offense from him when we need him to contribute offensively? Absolutely. Right. We want him to be that, 20 and 10, 20 and 15, guy every night. And then as far as Lowry, I think Lowry has some of the biggest expectations, because we've seen what Jimmy can do. We know what Bam can do. We know what Herro can do. I know what Herro and those guys can do. The biggest question mark still for me is Lowry, because he came here, he's a former champion, tenured with the Raptors, leader, veteran, locker room guy, good relationship with Jimmy, but frankly, it was very underwhelming. His every performance that we saw last year, maybe he had 1 or 2 good games last year, and that's talking about postseason and everything.
Right.
And it's like, for a guy that's supposed to be, our point guard, literally running point for us out there and like controlling the game, kind of like a Chris Paul does. Right. We were expecting that from Lowry. So I really am expecting, I think the biggest improvement is going to be from Shane Lowry.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry, but for
Shane
sure.
Lowry.
No, but for sure.
Kyle.
And you know why? Because of the dollar sign attached to it, right? Like, if you look at the rest of the deals, we've gotten our money's worth. We've gotten our money's worth with Bam's extension. We're probably going to get our money's worth with Herro's extension. We got our money's worth with Duncan, right? Because now he's a tradable asset at any single point for a big star. We gave Jimmy a bunch of money. He's worth every single penny. We got Victor Oladipo on the cheap. You know what I mean? Like a bunch of Strus on the cheap, a bunch of guys on the cheap. So, like, all of those guys have met their quote-unquote quota. The only one not really delivering on what they're making is Lowry. And at least I feel like he's taking it serious this year, because he knows that if he doesn't take it and if he doesn't start to play well, he can damn well be out of here by the time the All-Star break comes around and the trade season opens. Why? Because nobody's going to want, the Heat are not going to stay with this guy struggling, being overweight, turning over the ball, not shooting, not putting up points, and holding on to that type of contract for an entire season. I don't think they'll do it.
No, and also this past season, I know Lowry had some personal issues.
True. That
kept him out of a lot of games, and that was the reason. I really, that could have played into it. Maybe his mind wasn't on basketball, wasn't a priority. It was just kind of mail it in kind of year. If that was the case, he's going to be he's a professional, and at the end of the day, he's never going to say something like that. But just thinking about human nature, your head's not in the right place. You have all these personal issues. You're not playing every game. Your head's not there. So hopefully that's been resolved. I don't know what the issue might have been or whatever, but hopefully all that's taken care of, and he's fully committed and fully focused on this season, man, because we need him, man. Kyle has the potential to take to take our team to the finals,
bro. And next level type point guard, man. To be honest,
yeah, man. And
when he's on,
we need to see that from
absolutely. When he's on, he's a next level point guard. Like, honestly, one of the greats. But he needs to be available in order for him to do that. He needs to be really available, bought in, clear-headed, in shape, ready to go. Full 82-game season. And it's cool. Season starts, like I said, October 19th against the Bulls. 4-game homestand real quick. And tomorrow or Tuesday, when you guys are listening to this, you're going to be able to watch the Miami Heat play the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7:30 Sun Sports. Let's get it.
The preseason action for the Pisa Mañana.
Yes, sir.